What up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the BrandonJaneau Show. As you know, I am BrandonJaneau, and like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere, BrandonJaneau Show. Social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, BrandonJaneau Show, and of course, YouTube channel BrandonJaneau Show. You can go watch this visual of this episode, comment, like, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, BrandonJaneau Show. If you don't know, there was a WWE PLE. So of course it is Wrestling Life rate and review show. This is where I rate and review the matches, the pay-per-view, and all of its totality. WWE, well, not all of its totality because they had a match on a pre-show and I did not rate that, but I will talk about it. But like always, man, I got a bunch of these episodes out on various podcast platforms. All you gotta do is type in Brand New Show, Wrestling Life, or Brand New Show Rate and Review, and it should pop up. Now, let's get into it. So, today was, of course, WWE's King and Queen of the Ring, PLE. Um, it was only, what, one, two, three, four, five matches, not including the pre-show match, which is six, which was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae for the women's tag team titles. That was a really good match. It was another match where you know Jade and Bianca kind of got a chance to show off who they are uh, as a tag team. They are one of the most dominant tag teams in the goddamn company, so it tells you all you need to know. But um, but yeah, um, thought the match was good. It showed off Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, so it was a good match. It was a good match, man. Uh, before I get into of course, my review show, I want to talk about this. So, it's a lot of things that's been going on in wrestling, but one thing in particular that has been going on in wrestling that is a 100% been confirmed, and that is that SummerSlam is now going to two nights. The biggest party of the summer, as they say in WWE, will now go to two nights starting 2026. It will be in Minnesota, Minneapolis, August 1st to the 2nd, SummerSlam. Of course, some people immediately jumped out the window. Now, some of us are happy about this. SummerSlam is literally the second. We can now officially say this. SummerSlam is the second biggest pay per view or PLE in WWE um, to WrestleMania. You know, um, so it's like a lot of things been going on about that since it's been announced. One thing in particular, a lot of people have been saying is, um, does all of these pay per views now go pretty much the big four? Will they now go to um, two nights? That means the Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. Will they also join this PLE? The two night formula. And I'm gonna be honest. I think SummerSlam and WrestleMania makes sense because those are the two pay per views that have the most intriguing storylines. It's like the middle of the season. SummerSlam is right in the middle of the season. It's like you kind of could blow off all the feuds that started right after WrestleMania, at SummerSlam, and then start new ones going into the WrestleMania season, pretty much. And that's pretty much what I think SummerSlam is going to be, which is kind of always been that way, but now it's really now going to be that way. And I think that they're making SummerSlam just as big as WrestleMania, which they should. SummerSlam is starting to become, starting to be in these stadiums just like WrestleMania are. You know, this upcoming week, this upcoming year, SummerSlam is going to be where the Cleveland Browns play football, and that's in the following. Well, they haven't announced the following year yet. I hope Houston gets it, and I would love to go to the NRG. stadium to watch SummerSlam in 2025 or 2027. I'm not picky. I'm not picky at all. But, but um, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I um I don't think Royal Rumble or Survivor Series should move to 2 nights because they're not as intriguing as the SummerSlam. The thing about I can talk about the Royal Rumble. The thing about the Royal Rumble that is so great is that it is the element of surprise. It is the mysterious. We don't know what's going to happen of the pay per view, and that's kind of why SummerSlam is such. I mean, Royal Rumble works on just a Saturday or Sunday night because it just. I don't need it to be 2 nights because in this world that we live in with media, something could come out from Saturday to Sunday, and then the surprise is blown. Like I like that the Royal Rumble feels like anyone can come back, anything can happen. That's the beauty of the Royal Rumble. It doesn't need to go to 2 nights. It works the way it works because what the fuck are you putting in at 2 nights for? The formula that the Royal Rumble works in, it works right now. Have the women start the Royal Rumble off, have the men in the Royal Rumble. That makes sense. And then have whatever match you want to have. If it's the Intercontinental Championship or it be the WWE Championship, whatever. You have that match in the middle to squish between them, and it's 4 matches. And I like the fact that the Royal Rumble are only like 4 or 5 matches. That's a good fucking pay per view because the Royal Rumble takes up literally 2 Royal Rumbles take up literally what 3 hours, close to 3 hours. You got like maybe like an hour and a half, maybe an hour, 15 minutes with the women, maybe an hour and a half with the men. That's 2 hours. That's 2 3 hours right there. So why would you have now another night? It don't make no sense. Like in every championship don't need to be defended on every damn PLE. That's another thing. Like this past PLE that just happened. The World Heavyweight Champion wasn't on the PLE, and that's a good thing. I don't need to see Judgment Day on every PLE, like just like I don't need to see Cody Rhodes at Clash at the Castle. I don't think Cody Rhodes need to fight at Clash at the Castle. Now, would it surprise me if he does? No, but I also know that the Money in the Bank pay per view is coming up right after it, and I know Cody Rhodes will probably fight at Money in the Bank at Toronto. So why have him fight at Clash at the Castle too? That don't make any damn sense. And I like how they're alternating that. I think that's a good idea. Have the World Heavyweight Champion headline one event, have the WWE Champion headline another event. Backlash, it makes sense because the World Heavyweight Champion and the WWE Champion needs to be seen together. But now you kind of alternate these pay per views with the champion, and I like that. I don't think Cody Rhodes needs to fight on every pay per view. That's kind of weird. Now I know people are gonna sit here and say, Brandon, you said Roman Reigns needed. No, Roman Reigns was just not there. He wasn't physically there. But if you can build storylines with Cody Rhodes to Money in the Bank, then that makes sense. But the Royal Rumble does not need to go to 2 nights. Now, Survivor Series. Survivor Series is going to be an interesting one this year because, but let me say that Survivor Series does not need to go to 2 nights either. Survivor Series works for the one night that it has. And to be honest with you, nobody's intrigued by Survivor Series like that. Not like it used to be. So what would you go to 2 nights for? It doesn't make any sense. Um, the second the Survivor Series this year is going to be very intriguing, which is kind of why I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you do with Survivor Series. I don't know. Yeah, we could do another War Games, but I'm looking at the War Games that could be. First, you gotta get Roman Reigns and The Rock to actually agree to do a War Games match with each other. I don't know if they will. That's the one thing. Um, they might. I don't know, but I don't think The Rock would want to do a. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe because he knows the history of wrestling. He knows how much a War Games match matters. And for somebody in the Attitude Era to not to participate in a WC like a WCW made match would probably be one of the craziest shit on the planet we've ever seen. But I don't think they're gonna do that because you would have to do a lot of shit to make that happen. So a lot of people that keep saying, "Oh, the War Games match is gonna be the Bloodline versus the new Bloodline versus the original Bloodline." It's like, first of all, everybody on the Bloodline is on SmackDown, so Jay would have to get traded to SmackDown to make that work. And then on top of that, who the fuck are you putting them with? You gonna put Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes? Because that's the only other people you can actually even decide to put with them. maybe Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, like because the blood. Because I'm trying to think, like, so what Roman and Jimmy versus what Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens versus the bloodline that The Rock does decide to fight, and then Jacob Fatu comes in. It's like you could do it, but it's like because everybody's assuming like Jay's gonna jump back in. Jay's on Raw. Like how the fuck is Jay gonna jump into the bloodline storyline? Which is why I think they're not gonna do the War Games this year at Survivor Series. I actually think they're gonna go back to brand supremacy, which is what they've been trying to create the last couple of times you've seen them on TV. Which is who's got the brand, who's the better brand right now. Which and this is also where you also can add in NXT because the last real good Survivor Series that they had before they started going to the War Games method was NXT 2019. You know, NXT with WWE with Raw and SmackDown. That was the best one they had in the last what 5 years until they went to the War Games method. So yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what you do with Survivor Series. That's gonna be an interesting one. But I do not think Survivor Series needs to also go to 2 nights. I think it works the way it works. And if you do decide to go into brand supremacy, which is kind of what you're starting to do a little bit more and more, which I think I need to talk about right now also, is because I think storylines are being set, but people just don't want to see them because you want what you want. But if you watch the draft, you saw Raw and SmackDown and NXT get together and work together to get the superstars on the brands, but also you saw a lot of influx between NXT, Raw, and SmackDown, and that's the beauty of having now a new like having that be a Survivor Series because you have established you have established um you've established uh Ava, the NXT general manager, as a general manager now. You have established Nick Aldis as SmackDown's general manager. You have established um, Adam Pearce as Raw's general manager. So I think you will have at Survivor Series brand supremacy, NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown. Because the War Games match y'all keep saying is going to happen, you would have to get The Rock to actually want to be a part of it, and that's the key. And what I've been hearing the last couple of days when it comes to The Rock is the motherfucker might be out of touch. No matter how people want to slice it or dice it, the nigga seems like he's very out of touch. So as much as I love the ending of the final boss, let him have the match at Survivor Series, build to WrestleMania 41. That's just how I look at it. But but what do I feel about the SummerSlam going to 2 nights? Excuse me, by the way. How I feel about SummerSlam going to 2 nights? I fucking love it. I think, like I said, SummerSlam is the second biggest event for WWE after WrestleMania. It's not Royal Rumble. It's not Survivor Series. It might be Money in the Bank. It might be some of these international events that now starting to try to like do a little bit more and more of. But yeah, I think SummerSlam is the second biggest, which it is. It actually is the second longest running, I think, event behind uh WrestleMania. So I believe that SummerSlam should go to 2 nights. But like I said, because this is the middle of the season storyline blowover. You know what I'm saying? And I think this upcoming SummerSlam, you're gonna see the seeds being planted of what's gonna happen going into the Survivor Series, going into Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. Triple H is all about long term storytelling, and tonight was one of those things that perfectly encapsulated what that is. Because the like I said, WWE King and Queen of the Ring happened tonight, and the winners of both of those matches, the finals of both of those matches, Queen and King of the Ring, got title matches for their respective brands champions. So you know how I do this, man. If you don't know, I rank my least favorite match with stars, 5 stars, So 5 stars is just plain old match of the night. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I got 3 5 stars. So with those 3 5 stars, I choose my favorite match out of all three of those 5 stars. My favorite match of the night, and I started off with my least favorite match, of course. And I usually don't give nobody a 1 star. I don't give anybody 1 star. Giving people two and a half here and there, just depending on how bad the match is. Like it just didn't connect with me or the fans or anything. So nobody's got a 2 tonight. Nobody's got a 1, which is rare. Like you don't get a 1 star. Like you gotta like damn near not do nothing. And I gotta not be interested at all in the match. But let's get into it, man. So tonight I'm kicking it off with 3.5 stars, and that to me could have gave it a 3, but I gave it 3.5 because of the ending. What the fuck? So the so the first match of the night for me was Queen of the Ring final. I gave it 3.5 stars. The finals of the Queen of the Ring. Nia Jax versus Lara Valkyria. 3.5 stars. The match went exactly how I thought it was gonna go. Nia Jax was gonna dominate. That's kind of obvious. It was never supposed to be a tug of fucking war between these two. Um, Lara Valkyria is good in the ring, but she's not ready. She's not advanced, and that's the beauty of this match because it was somebody that had been in WWE for a while, had the experience like a Nia Jax, versus somebody that's been in NXT but hasn't been on the main roster long enough to even measure up to a Nia Jax or even know how to really beat her. Because a lot of the times when you probably will see a Becky or maybe a Bianca or somebody like that know how to counter certain things Nia Jax does because the experience they fought against already. Laura Van Kara just didn't know certain things, and I think that played into the match because it was like she can't. This is not one of those times she can just outwit her because she doesn't know how to do it yet, and I think that played into this match. It was kind of like experience versus inexperience, which goes into the ending of this match. Laura Van Kara is trying to powerbomb her off the ropes. She's trying to powerbomb Nia Jax off the ropes, and instead Nia Jax falls on her ass. Like she just fucking just boom. This the Lord Jesus. Yeah, yeah. And bro, I thought Nia Jax committed a murder. I was like, holy shit, because she got flattened. Like she got flattened. Nia won. She is the queen of the ring. And a lot of people that keep saying, this is actually the first real queen of the ring. I know. Selena Vega won it back in 2021, 22. I can't remember when they did this shit. But that was Queen of the Court or some shit. It wasn't Queen of the Ring. It was like Queen of the Court or some shit. It wasn't even Queen of the Ring. They didn't even name it that. They was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna give her something like that. But Nia is actually the real first Queen of the Ring. So um, she deserved it. I mean, like I said, Laura Van Kara is not ready to have a title match right out the gate, where Nia Jax has been working her ass off to get to this point. Now, SummerSlam is around the corner. She will be fighting Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. To be honest with you, I don't think Nia beats Bayley. I think Bayley's gonna keep the belt for a good bit of time. I don't know how you what you. To be honest with you, I don't know who the fuck is gonna be Bayley. I don't know. I don't know how you. I don't because I don't feel like you're gonna move the title off of Bayley if you don't have a true number one. Tiffany Stratton, that might be the only one that I can see really actually beat Bayley, and it makes sense right now. Nia Jax doesn't really make sense. I know a lot of people hear that and think I'm crazy for saying that. As good as Nia Jax has been since she's been back, excuse me, as good as Nia Jax has been since she's been back, I don't know if she makes sense to beat Bayley. It's been a while since Bayley's been champion. And you got to make it make sense for somebody that you feel like can carry the belt. It also makes sense for why you took it off of Bayley. And that's why I'm like, I don't think Nia is the one that beats Bayley. That's why I've been saying I think Bayley keeps the belt until WrestleMania. Without injury, Bayley should keep the belt until WrestleMania, and that's when Tiffany Stratton should beat her at WrestleMania. If I was WWE Triple H, I would continue to build Tiffany Stratton. I know people have said Tiffany should have been the queen of the ring. I know people have said Tiffany should win Money in a Bank. I think Tiffany Stratton should win the Royal Rumble because that's the only one that makes logical sense right now. You're not gonna put Bianca and Jade in a position where they have to fight each other right now, even though they have a good reason to turn. And this is the thing: Bianca is gonna be the one that gets turned on. Like Jade's gonna turn heel. I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're already selling the knee of Bianca. And I think the knee injury of Bianca is going to be the one thing that makes Jade finally say, you know what? And when they lose the titles, and I don't know who they're going to lose the tag team titles against, maybe it's Damage Control, maybe it's not. I don't know. But what I do know is this: eventually, Jade and Bianca are going to fight. They're going to probably fight at WrestleMania, but they're not going to fight for a title. That is why I feel like if I was WWE, I would continue to build Tiffany Stratton. I wouldn't give it a Money in the Bank because it doesn't make sense. And I know people are gonna sit there and say, "Why the fuck that doesn't make sense?" Because you want her first title reign to be something that's just that damn easy. Come on now, like I actually think she's really talented in the ring. She's got the character and she's got the ability to make it work. Why not give her the Royal Rumble push? Why not let her get the WrestleMania beat win? Because again, like I said, who the fuck is gonna win the Women's Royal Rumble in January? Jade's not winning it. Bianca's not winning it. Maybe Nia, but even then, you're like, I don't know about that. Laura, but Laura's got to continue to build. I don't know what you do with Becky. If Becky's gonna be, I know Becky's probably gonna take a break after this, today. So I don't know what you do with Becky. Liv's already got the belt. Rhea's coming back at some point. You don't really have too many women that can go out there and win. Maybe Roxy, but Roxy's on NXT, and you're not moving her up until maybe next year. So it doesn't make any sense. So why waste some money in a bank with Tiffany Stratton just to win it and then drop it maybe in a couple weeks? Like that don't make sense. Or she could do something that's never been done before, keep the money in the bank briefcase until WrestleMania and say, since Bayley doesn't really have any opponent, I will cash in my money in the bank at WrestleMania and make it a match. But even that, in that sense, you don't want to play too much with that because it's just like, why not just cash in when you got it? Like, so that's why I'm like, I think Tiffany Stratton should win the Royal Rumble. That's just me. Why I keep saying that is because Nia won a title match against, excuse me, Bayley at SummerSlam. And I don't think Nia's gonna be Bayley. Like it doesn't make sense. Why? Why? Because it took Bayley this long to get the belt, and you're gonna take it off of her at SummerSlam? I think you have Bayley be the champion to WrestleMania, and then she drops it at WrestleMania to Tiffany Stratton. That's the only logical sense. But congratulations to Nia Jax because she damn sure deserved it. Now, the next match, I gave this match 4.5 stars. I gave it really originally 3.5, then 4.5. Now I'm kind of leaning towards 4, and I'm gonna give it 4 stars. And that's Becky and Liv. They open up the king and queen of the ring pay per view for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. I gave it 4 stars. Um, Good match. Liv, one of Liv's best matches. Liv and Becky have really good matches. Like I know a lot of people. Some people love Liv because of how she looks. like some people love to hate on Liv, and I don't mean that by the way. By the like, Liv is beautiful. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like she's not. But her fans are not real fans of her. I think in the ring, they're fans of her because of how she looks. Like let's be real for a second. But when Liv is actually in the ring and she fights Becky, she has really great matches with her. Her and Becky have great chemistry. I have no idea. Liv don't have that with a lot of people. Liv got that with just Becky. Maybe her and Rhea, but her and Rhea have not really wrestled that much. As crazy as it sounds, her and Rhea never really is. I can really maybe remember like 3 matches her and Rhea probably had, maybe 3, maybe 4. But every time I seen Becky and her get in the ring, I was at the last time they fought in Houston just recently when they fought to get I think when Liv was going on, when Becky was trying to prove that she could fight anybody and beat anybody, that little tour she was on, and she fought Liv then. Um, so they always have great matches, and I'm happy that they let Liv go over finally because her fans needed to get something finally before she dropped the belt to Rhea, because she's gonna drop the belt in a minute eventually to Rhea, or she might not. And that's the thing. I don't think she's dropping the belt to Rhea when she comes back. I would be, and I'm not gonna sit up here and say I would not be surprised if she does it. But the storyline that you're trying to build right now is that Judgment Day is going to betray Rhea at some point. So why have her come back and just beat Liv if you're going to make Rhea a babyface? You have to give Liv some heat, and I don't think Liv has got enough people that's going to turn on her yet. As much as you want them to, it probably will become organic, obviously, but I, I don't know. This match, all in all, was really good. Like I said, Liv and Becky have really good chemistry together. Um, Becky and Liv went out there and did what they do. Every time they get in the ring, like I said, they have amazing matches. Becky can sell her ass off. I don't know why. Also, another one is Becky with the hate. I don't know why people hate on Becky. Becky is another one that I don't get why people hate on her. Is she great on the mic? No, no, I don't think. I think ever since she came back, she hasn't been really great on the mic. It's like it sounds repetitive. I would easily say that, but at the same time, she is tried and true. She's John Cena of the women's division, and what I mean by that is you if you put the title on her, no matter what, that title matters again. That title will mean something. It was what I mean. Like when you put the title on somebody that didn't like John Cena lose the belt or John Cena lose the title to someone, and you'd be like, if they beat John Cena, they beat John Cena. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of them. Like, and that's kind of how I look at it. Like I think that Becky losing to Liv, and again, this goes into like the Monday Night Raw when they had to do the Battle Royal. Becky was going to win that belt. I don't know why the fuck people thought Liv was going to win the Battle Royal, but this is better because of how the ending happened. Dominic Mysterio comes out trying to like quote unquote help Becky, slides a chair in the ring. This is like heel stupid ass person. This is like the dumbest heel shit on a planet. If you ever watch wrestling like I have watched wrestling my entire life, you could have literally called the goddamn thing the entire time. Dom's gonna come out. He told Liv in the backstage area, "You're not gonna win the belt. I refuse. I'm gonna do this for mommy." And then he comes out and tries to screw her and ended up backfiring and got the fucking belt taken away, not just from Becky, but from Rhea too, because now Becky's still in the loop to possibly get the belt back. I think Becky's gonna now Becky's unsigned. I think Becky's gonna sign a contract to WWE. She is not going to AEW. I would be surprised. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like but Seth's resigned, and they're not gonna let Becky just walk out. She is literally one of the biggest recognizable women in WWE's history. She's not gonna walk out the fucking door. This ain't one of those. They gonna pay her whatever they gotta pay her to get her to stay. So I'm not too surprised by that. She's gonna take a break after probably Monday night, and she's gonna chill. All in all, the match was cool. Like I said, they have great chemistry. I gave it a 4.5, but now I give it 4 stars because as good as this match is, even though I knew I was going how this storyline was gonna go out, this match is gonna go out, I wouldn't have still done it the way it went and ended. And I like the ending. That's the crazy part. But I just because we already know you're only setting this up for the Judgment Day to eventually betray Rhea. We know this already. This is like heel. We about to go over even more when you come back, like heel shit. Like, yeah, but I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a really good fucking match. 4 stars. Like I said, got 3 matches, 5 stars. So you know I already do this. I started with my least favorite 5-star match, which, and then I lead up to my favorite match of the night. Which, let's get into it. So kicking off my 5 stars is Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed for the Intercontinental Championship triple threat match. This is getting 5 stars. Um, I love this match. I love this match. The reverses, you know, Chad suplexing Bronson Reed, suplexing Sami Zayn, fucking phenomenal. Like, what the fuck was that? Otis, you know, Chad Gable trying to get Otis to cheat for him. Well, not cheat for him, but at least get involved in the match just so it to backfire on him. He had no problems with him, Bronson Reed. When it came to Sami Zayn, he had to think twice on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Sami Zayn hitting Bronson Reed with a blue Thunder Bomb. Yo, this match was fucking phenomenal. Bronson Reed going for a goddamn backflip off the top rope, only to, somersault, only to miss the damn somersault and move right into the damn and right into Chad Gable's somersault. Like, bruh, like, man, this match was phenomenal, man. It was good, man. Sami Zayn, of course, retained. That's not surprising. But this also will immediately get rid of Bronson Reed out the equation, which means it leads to now. What do you do with Sami Zayn for the summer? Which I think Chad Gable eventually is going to get the belt from Sami Zayn. Um, I don't know if you have them fight at Clash at the Castle. I don't know, and this is kind of why I had a little bit of a dilemma because I'm like, okay, Logan Paul, Logan Paul fought tonight, but he didn't put the title on the line, and you're not gonna have Logan Paul fight and drop the belt until SummerSlam against LA Knight, who, by the way, was in the main event in the crowd, literally behind Michael Cole and Corey Graves. More on that coming soon. But I don't know what you do with Sammy. Do you have him fight at Clash at the Castle? Which, if he fights at Clash at the Castle, he's fighting Chad Gable, right? Because he beat Bronson Reed. He pinned him. So Bronson Reed has no claims to the Intercontinental Championship match. But Chad Gable, who did get pinned, which is a smart thing. See, this is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. When you have somebody that you know you're gonna probably use at some point, use at some point to take the belt, you don't let that person take the pin. You move on, like, and that's the thing. Bronson Reed took the pin, which eliminates him from the conversation of the Intercontinental Championship because he took the damn pin. But Chad Gable didn't. So I don't know how you do it. But Chad Gable is going to be the one to take the belt off Sami Zayn. It's pretty obvious. But what if he's not? What if he's not? What if there's a scenario where Brian Breaker, Brian Breaker gets an Intercontinental Championship match and he beats Sammy? I would not mind that match, man. I would not mind that match. Sign me the fuck up. I would love that match. But all in all, man, this was an amazing match. I knew it was gonna be the match. Everybody knows this match is gonna be match of the night. It just wasn't for me. It was great though. Don't get it twisted. It was great, but it was just not match of the night. Which goes into my next 5-star match, which is the King of the Ring finale. Which I gave 5 stars. Of course, I was gonna give this 5 stars. When you have Gunther versus Randy motherfucking Orton. Yep, it's 5 stars. Now, controversy at the end, because we all saw Randy Orton's arm did come up. But anybody sitting up there and saying Randy Orton should have beat Gunther tonight, you are fucking delusional. Fucking delusional. I listen. I love Randy Orton. Randy Orton is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But the storyline has been Gunther getting a title match opportunity at some point. Some people have tried to throw this scenario out there. Well, let him lose at Bash of Berlin. Well, let him fight at Bash of Berlin. I think they're gonna do that. Gunther's gonna go over at Bash of Berlin. He's not gonna be Damian Priest at SummerSlam. And the only reason why he's not gonna be Damian Priest at SummerSlam is because they need to create friction for Judgment Day. They're gonna Damian Priest is gonna that's gonna be the last straw of Damian Priest feeling like Judgment Day is not listening to him. And he's gonna say, you know what? I don't need y'all for this upcoming match. And Gunther's gonna find a way to get back in the title picture because I think they're gonna cheat him at SummerSlam. Now, can he go over at SummerSlam? You bet your ass he can. But I don't think he will. I think they will set it up for Bash at Berlin. I think him versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship at Bash at Berlin. I know it sounds crazy to have him lose at SummerSlam, but if you lose on a technicality, like they cheated to get Damian Priest that victory, then you should easily get a title match at Bash at Berlin. And I know people are going to sit there and say, but what about Ilya Dragunov? Why the fuck would you have Ilya Dragunov fight Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship when Ilya Dragunov just got to the main roster? What fucking sense does that make? I would love to see Ilya Dragunov and Gunther 3. I would fucking pay money right now for it. But at the same time, make the story make sense. Ilya Dragunov has not done enough to be in a World Heavyweight Championship match at Bash of Berlin against Gunther. It doesn't make sense. Another storyline that was coming into this. Well, since the title is now on the line at SummerSlam, how about we have Randy Orton just beat Gunther and he fights Cody at SummerSlam? So you just gonna throw away The Rock and Cody at SummerSlam, and you just cool with moving that to WrestleMania 41? No, I want this Bloodline storyline to get the fuck wrapped up. I want Rock and Roman to fight at WrestleMania 41, and I want Cody and Randy Orton to fight at WrestleMania 41. I do not want them to fight at SummerSlam. I want The Rock and Cody to fight at SummerSlam because it doesn't make fucking sense. Y'all are jumping the gun on storylines, and I don't know why. I do know why. Cause you motherfuckers are impatient. Let the fucking shit cook. Let's see what happens. Gunther should have won King of the Ring because he was always supposed to win King of the fucking Ring. You don't drop the belt at WrestleMania and not have something coming soon to you. There is no way in hell I just dropped the longest title reign with the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania just to lose the final at King of the Ring to Randy Orton, who has 14 fucking titles already. Just for him to go to SummerSlam and lose to Cody Rhodes and have no storyline after that. The logic, ladies and gentlemen. Please make logic make sense. Because that shit don't make no sense. Gunther was always going to win King of the Ring. I don't give a fuck who was going to be in the final with him. He was always going to win. It could have been LA Knight. It could have been AJ Styles. Fuck it. It could have been Solo and Tama Tonga. That motherfucker was going to win King of the motherfucking Ring. Because the tournament was set up for him to do it. And I have said this numerous times. They had already teased Gunther versus Damian Priest before. It was just when Gunther had the title and Damian Priest had the briefcase. Tie up the storylines, man. This is a storyline that nobody's talked about because people forget that when Judgment Day came out there and told Gunther to his face, and we coming for every title you have. We coming for every title on Monday Night Raw. It might even be your title. Remember that? Because it was only a couple months ago. And Damian Priest and Gunther got into it then. It's shit like that. They've been plotting this shit. People just don't remember shit. Like last year when LA Knight started to get hot and everybody's like, let's give him the money in the bank. And I was like, Damian Priest is going to win money in the bank. This is the only logical sense because you've been building Damian Priest since fucking Backlash. like, no, man. Gunther should have won the King of the Ring. I love that Triple H also came out and was like, look, yes, I saw what y'all saw, but I'm not gonna go back and reverse it. Like the ref's decision is final because he knows what the storyline is. He ain't stupid. He knows how this is supposed to go. People are now like, man, they should run that back and let Randy Orton fight Gunther again. And like, for what reason? Randy Orton is still not gonna win. I like the fact Gunther won this match. Gunther doing what he does is great. Randy Orton hit Gunther with like what 2 RKO's. And Gunther, by the way, didn't win this match like he's won previous matches, which goes into a philosophy that somebody said just recently where they was like, yo, Bret Hart won the King of the Ring without having to use the sharpshooter the entire time. I think Vince made him, ask them, can you win matches without using a sharpshooter? And Bret went through the whole entire King of the Ring and found new, inventive ways to win the damn King of the Ring. And then he beat Bam Bam Bigelow. What? A roll up, who was the final of the King of the Ring. And what happened today? He beat Randy Orton. What? Just a plain old roll up. That's pretty fucking smart. Like, that's pretty fucking smart, if you ask me. I love the match. I thought it was amazing. I would not mind, excuse me, if these two fight again. I would love that. Oh my, sign me up today. I would love to see it. But for this purpose, Gunther should have won King of the Ring because it makes fucking sense. Y'all are rushing storylines because you just want to see it. Just to be fucking 5 seconds after the fucking match, just to be like, well, that didn't make no damn sense. Why Randy lost? Because he was supposed to fucking lose. What the fuck are you talking about? At least at WrestleMania 41, I can actually say I don't know who's gonna win between him and Cody. I don't know. But at least I'll be more confident in knowing the match is actually gonna be better. Y'all are rushing this storyline because well they already got history. But that history shit it needs to be built still. I know it sounds crazy to say, but as great as that history is between Legacy, Cody, and Randy, you still need to build it, man. You still need to build a match for why Randy Orton wants to beat Cody and take the belt away from him. Knowing this is Cody's story. This is what he always wanted. More importantly, you got to turn Randy Orton heel. And do you hear these people in this crowds? That's some hard shit to do right now. Randy Orton is the most beloved wrestler probably in the company right now. That's some hard shit to do. To turn him heel. That's gonna be hard. That's be because he loves what he's doing right now. That's gonna be hard. And I get it. But yeah, that's gonna be hard. But I love the match. 5 stars. And of course, match of the night was of course the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. I gave it 5 stars for the WWE Championship. Listen, I'm starting to get convinced Logan Paul can go out there with a broomstick and put on a 5 star match. As much as a wrestling fan I am, the motherfucker's a wrestler. He is. He is. Every match I've ever seen this dude have, I'm waiting for the match where he just isn't good. I hate that I am a hater like that. Because as a wrestling fan, you don't want nobody that has never done this shit before to be this fucking good at it. Because all your life, you wanted to do exactly what the fuck he is doing right now. You wanted to jump in that ring and do all the shit he is doing right now. And that irks the fuck out of you. Like nigga, I could do that too, old bitch ass nigga. Like you wanna like the hatred kicks in at some point when you see Logan Paul doing all the shit he's doing. You're like, this motherfucker here, bro. And he's good. That son of a bitch is good at it. You're like, you son of a bitch. I am convinced this motherfucker go out there right now with a broomstick and put on a 5-star classic. I'm convinced. I keep waiting for the match where he's just gonna be just over the hills. Like he can't get it. He doesn't understand it. I will be waiting for a long fucking time because this motherfucker is good, man. This nigga, man, bro. Yo, this dude is good. And Cody was the perfect person for him. See, last year when he went against Roman Reigns, no, not last year, a couple years ago, when he against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, he was like, this man getting a title match and he ain't earned it? The fuck? And then he goes out there and puts on probably one of the greatest title matches in Roman Reigns' uh, reign. Let's be real. That was probably the greatest match that Roman Reigns had probably in his title reign. Better than the Drew McIntyre Clash at the Castle match. Better than the Jey Uso Hell in a Cell. Better than the Kevin Owens TLC. Better than maybe the two WrestleMania matches against Cody could rival those two. Better than the set at the Royal Rumble. Like that, maybe even Brock Lesnar, but I even would say that's better than the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match at SummerSlam. That was the best match outside of maybe the Cody matches that Roman Reigns had the entire title run with Logan Paul. And you put him in a ring with Cody Rhodes, who has more move sets, who can do more with the match, and they went out there and had a fucking classic. It's like, damn, this is a match of the night. The ending sucked. The ending was stupid. I would easily say that. The ending was kind of stupid. I would have preferred LA Knight to jump in because you could have built that storyline. Like I said, LA Knight was sitting behind Corey Graves and Michael Cole on commentary, so you could have easily had him jump the barricade and take the brass knucks away from Logan Paul, which would create the storyline that you're now trying to build to SummerSlam. You're already starting it, but it's like you could have did that. I know it probably would have pushed it into overdrive, but at least you would have had a reason for why LA Knight would have jumped in because he wants Logan Paul to fight honorably, which was the storyline going in, which Logan Paul, you're really great at this shit, but you just don't fight honorably as a champion. And that's our problem with you. So you could have had LA Knight jump the barricade, take the brass knucks away from him, and then Cody does everything that he's doing. But I like the ending too because then Logan Paul kicks the goddamn dude. He said, "Man, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you?" And he tries to swing at Cody, and Cody catches the brass knucks. He says, "I'm Cody Rhodes, bitch." And it gave him like 3 crossroads. Like I was like, "Yep, that makes sense too. I like that one too." Oh no, man, this match is great, man. Um, you got to see a lot of things that we haven't seen Cody Rhodes be able to do in various matches, and I love the fact that with Roman, he had to be a little bit more different. With AJ Styles, he had to be a little bit more finesse. With this match, he could kind of be the pro wrestler. I like that. I liked it. Like it was with Roman, it was kind of like you have to be a brawler. I like that. This is the thing about Cody. Now I get that people want Cody with a meaningful storyline, and he's about to have it because him and AJ Styles are not done. So for the next couple pay-per-views, I don't like I said, Clash of the Castle. I don't see him fighting at Clash of the Castle. But I can see him fight at Money in the Bank. And I can see him and AJ Styles fighting at Money in the Bank. But you at least will have time for that to build this time around. Instead of you just throwing it into Backlash. You will have time to let it cook. And I can't wait to see how this is going to cook. All in all, man, I like the King of the Queen of the Ring, man. It was a really good pay-per-view, man. I don't think a lot of people are going to give it its perfect rating and all that bullshit. But It feeds what you are as a WWE fan. Also, people need to stop with this bullshit thought process that WWE needs to do 14 fucking matches of some crazy ass card, because I remember when WrestleMania used to be 7 hours and shit with 14 fucking matches that didn't make any sense. Listen, like I say all the time, bro, that is what the other company is for. If you want 14 matches, go watch tomorrow night, because they're going to have 14 goddamn matches tomorrow night at AEW. And I'm probably going to watch it. I'm not going to lie. I'll probably watch the pay per view tomorrow night for AEW. I want to see Mercedes Moné in her first match. I want to see what it looks like with Adam Copeland and Malachi Black. I want to see what that's going to look like. I want to see Swerve Strickland and Christian, which sounds so weird right now, but it probably will be a good match. I want to see what's going to happen. I do. But at the same time, it is what it is. I don't have time to be sitting there watching, 7 damn hours, though. That shit is crazy. I remember being a wrestling fan, WWE WrestleMania 34, and by like, after like the Rhea Kurt Triple H Stephanie match, you kind of burnt out on a pay per view. Like, okay, well, how many more matches? Oh, like seven. 7 matches. Yeah, that was only like match 4. Like, what the fuck are you mean? That was only match 4. Like, it's shit like that. You still trying to give it story time and all. No, I like what this is. I like the card that it is. It's 3 hours. It's right under 3 hours. Good. In and motherfucking out. Clash at the Castle, I can easily see it also be maybe like 4 or 5 matches, which is great. We already got one match announced, and that's Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for the World Championship. CM Punk is going to screw Drew McIntyre out that belt. I can tell you that now. We can get that out the way. Drew McIntyre is not winning that belt at Clash at the Castle. CM Punk is going to screw him out that belt at Clash at the Castle. We can go ahead and put that in the box right now. But until next time, man, the next one I will be doing will be NXT Underground Battleground. I think it's NXT Battleground. And that's June, I want to say 9th. Gotta go check the calendar. But anyway, I will be back for that. And of course, the next WWE uh, Prime Live event will be Clash at the Castle, June 16th, June 15th. Yeah. But until next time, man, I am Brandon Janeau. This is Wrestling Life. Peace.